Movies worth watching and watching again. These are movie gems.
Shh, it's starting.
You know, it's a treat to sit down to a great movie. But do you have trouble finding a worthwhile film you can watch with your family and friends? I'm Jay Fulmer, and I'm here to help. Let me recommend Ever After. I assume you know the Cinderella story, right? Well, this film begins by telling you the real story.
I was terribly disturbed when I read your version of the little Cinder girl. Perhaps you will allow me to set the record straight?
Then it's true. The story.
Yes, quite. Now then, what is that phrase you use? Oh, yes. Once upon a time.
We are then transported to 16th century Europe, where a young Danielle is living a fairy tale life with her loving father. When he remarries, she is excited to meet her new stepsisters, but they're not sure what to make of each other. Soon after the marriage, the father drops from his horse, dead, and life changes abruptly for Danielle. The stepmother, Radmilla, puts Danielle to work as a family maid, cooking and doing the dishes and tending the barnyard.
Well, to be raised by a man. No wonder you're built for hard labor.
Meanwhile, she grooms her oldest daughter, the beautiful Marguerite, for marriage in high places. But Danielle doesn't mind hard work. Her suffering comes as she sees her stepfamily slowly decaying what her father had built. She just wants to work her land with the servants, read, and be left alone. The story really gets going when Danielle mistakes Prince Henry for a thief when he's trying to escape his princely responsibilities by borrowing a horse from Danielle's estate.
Forgive me, Your Highness, I did not see you.
Your aim would suggest otherwise.
Danielle does not seek out a prince, but in a series of coincidences, they keep crossing paths. The prince finds her ideological sparring refreshing, mainly because he admires that she has so much passion about, well, something, anything. Conviction is something the prince is missing, but longing for. She awakens that in him. I love that they didn't fall in love at first sight. They get to know each other, and that's part of the joy of the movie. There is no magical fairy godmother in Ever After, so key elements of the story, like the dress and glass slippers, are allowed a much more personal connection. Those items belonged to Danielle's mother, making them much more significant. The evil stepmother is certainly that, and no one does it better than Angelica Huston.
Danielle, throughout these hard times, I have sheltered you, clothed you, and cared for you. All that I ask in return is that you help me here without complaint. Is that such an extraordinary request?
No, my lady.
But the script allows us to better understand her motivations. We see her vulnerability at moments and watch her protect herself by intentional and scathing emotional cruelty.
You are the only mother I have ever known. Was there a time, even in its smallest measurement, that you loved me at all?
How can anyone love a pebble in their shoe?
In the end, we cheer her getting what she deserves, not just because she was such a villain, but because at many points throughout our story, she could have chosen not to be. Leonardo da Vinci is a stand-in for a fairy godmother and is a great improvement. He is wise and creative and helps the would-be lovers to understand each other better. He encourages Danielle to recognize her value and the prince to temper his arrogance. Ever After becomes the fairy tale romance you'd expect, but with characters you can really admire. Characters who are better for knowing and challenging each other. This is that rare breed of movies that is like the best comfort food, but with substance. The music is lush and transports you right along with the stunning on-site locations and lavish costumes. It is a film that is much better than it has any right to be. And if you've seen it before, maybe it's time to watch it again. Maybe with young ones from the next generation of potential fairy tale lovers. Perhaps they'll be surprised and delighted by how good fairy tale movies used to be. Ever After came out in 1998. It has a runtime of 2 hours and 1 minute and is rated PG-13. I would rate this movie 8.5 gems. Now forgive me this rant. Let me just comment on that PG-13 rating. This is a classic example of a manipulated rating in order to attract a particular demographic. The film is really rated PG, but the filmmakers later added a few foul curse words muttered under someone's breath so they could get a rating that would attract teenagers. These words are so obscure you'll never hear them unless you know where to look for them, and don't bother. I only mention this bit of trivia so that parents should have no worry about sharing this film with younger audiences. Well, what do you think? Would you like to try it out? You can probably find this film at your local library, but you can also watch it through streaming online. Just type your movie title into the search bar and include the word streaming. You'll see results showing where you can rent it, or perhaps it's already on a streaming service you subscribe to. Once you watch it, come on back and tell us what you thought in the comments section. If you're already a fan of the movie, tell us in the comments what you loved about it and encourage others to watch it too. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of new episodes as they come out. See you next time for more Movie Gems.